Call the December meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Dilbert.
Here.
Trustee Guerrero. Here. Trustee Nona. Here. Trustee Percoli.
Here.
Trustee Hashem. Here. President Meisen.
Here.
Treasurer Sinofsky.
Here.
And Clerk Winsett is here.
Approval of the agenda. I, for once, do not have any changes.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second. It's been moved and supported that we approve the agenda as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Public comments on the agenda. If anyone would like to approach the podium and have any comments on any of the agenda items? All right, seeing none. Approval of the minutes for regular meeting minutes for November 11th, 2025.
I'll move to approve the minutes for the council meeting on November 11, 2025.
Support.
It's been moved and supported that we approve the meeting minutes from November 11th, 2025. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Consent agenda.
So moved.
It's been moved and supported that we approve the consent agenda as is presented. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Payment of bills, treasurer.
Approval of December 2025 payroll amount of $99,815.88 and bills to be paid for December 2025 in the amount of $320.87, totaling $969,136.75.
Make a motion to accept the December payroll and the December bills for a total of $969,136.75. Support.
It's been moved and supported that we pay our bills in the amount of $969,136.75. Roll call, please.
Trustee Bonkowski.
Yes.
Trustee Hashem. Yes. Trustee Percoli.
Yes.
Trustee Nona.
Yes.
Trustee Dilbert.
Yes.
Trustee Guerrero. Yes. President Meisen.
Yes. Treasurer report.
Total village cash assets of $9,777,743.35.
I'll move that we receive and file the treasurer's report.
Support. It's been moved and supported that we receive and file the treasurer's report. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Communications and community reports. Item A, Clerk Winsett.
Provided we pass the 2026 meeting dates, the schedule, the due date for the January items is January 3rd, please.
Alrighty. Item B, Planning Commission update. Trustee Dilbert.
The planning commission met last Tuesday. The only thing we had on our agenda was a public hearing for a lot combine for the Lennox Township Library. We held a public hearing, and during the regular session, the planning commission voted to approve the lot combine for the Lennox Township Library. And we've sent a recommendation to council because the final approval is council.
Item number C, Parks and Rec update. Trustee Guerrero.
Yes, so we have going on right now, a house decorating contest up until December 20th. So hopefully the residents get more involved and have more houses decorated. We're doing a good job already, so that's awesome. And then we have the zoo lights are coming up for the trip. But I think that bus is full, so I think we're good there, which is really good. What else? I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. I'm just discussing just things for the future.
And we have a presentation tonight from Pine Tree Acres and WM. So if you'd like to come up to the podium.
Sure. We'll start the presentation. We have a short video to present. I'll just come up and Sarah wants to watch the short video.
Did the library.
Short video presentation. Good evening, council members. My name is Jake Howlett, and I represent WM. And I just want to talk briefly about the amendment process that we're going through right now, how it relates to Pine Tree Acres, and how it will relate to both New Haven and other communities in Macomb County. Pine Tree Acres is the primary landfill serving Macomb County. In fact, it's the only landfill located in Macomb County. And we're asking the county, the communities, and Eagle ultimately to approve an amendment to the existing solid waste disposal plan that would allow Pine Tree Acres to expand. Pine Tree Acres is a Type 2 non-hazardous municipal solid waste landfill. It was first permitted in 1986, commenced operations in 1987, and being a Type 2 landfill means it does not accept any hazardous waste, only municipal solid waste, household trash, commercial waste, similar non-hazardous materials. Facility is regulated by the Michigan Department of the Environment in Great Lakes, Eagle, as we all know it. They work very close, WM works very closely with Lennox Township, Macomb County, and surrounding communities to make sure it stays in compliance, it's efficiently run. What we're here for tonight to talk about is that Macomb County is going through this process to amend the existing plan that would allow for this expansion. So the amendment would add roughly 236 acres adjacent to the existing facility. In a minute, we'll bring up a map that'll be a little bit easier to visualize. But of that 236 expansion acreage, about 135 acres would be additional line disposal area, which would bring the total acreage of Pine Tree Acres to 813 acres, all of which fits in the existing footprint of the planned landfill area. Current capacity right now is about 6 to 8 years in the current footprint. The goal here is not to build a brand new landfill, but to expand here, which would add about 25 years of additional capacity. So we've got about 6 to 8 years left. This amendment, once hopefully passed, would add about 25 years of life to the landfill. The why is pretty straightforward. If local capacity isn't available, eventually the landfill would have to close, and Macomb County would not have landfill space. Trash would still be generated, it would have to be trucked further away. That would be more expensive, it would increase costs for New Haven and other communities that deliver their trash to Pine Tree Acres. Longer hauls, higher municipal costs, more truck traffic. Those are sort of the downsides of not expanding. That, and then I think there would be some push at some point to perhaps look at building a new landfill. And it's much, much easier to expand in the existing footprint. Plus, as we'll get into in a minute, if you expand on the existing footprint, you end up generating a lot more capacity on a smaller footprint. In other words, adding 135 or 140 acres of disposal area to an existing landfill results in this 25-year capacity. You would need a much larger new landfill because it's not built in. I'm not an engineer, just a little here to admit it. My mom wanted me to be a doctor. But anyway, it's totally irrelevant. But anyway, it's important, I think, to note that expanding an existing landfill just gives you a lot more bang for your buck is probably the easiest way to say it. And that's why expanding it to the contiguous facility is so important. I think this part is important for you guys too. Here's where we are in the process. The county has created the Solid Waste Planning Committee. It already has a draft amendment that it approved to send out for public comment. That was in October. So there's, by statute, a 90-day public comment period that we're in the middle of right now. Public comment at the county level, I think, ends, you can submit comments through January 14th. Then on January 22nd, there's going to be a public hearing. And so that will be noticed. It has to be noticed in the paper 30 days beforehand, so that's all coming. And that will be an opportunity for the public to come to that meeting and air any questions or comments that they may have. I think the hope then is that the Board of Commissioners will approve it either at that January meeting, that coincides with the Board of Commissioners meeting on January 22nd, or it will be approved at the February meeting of the Board of Commissioners. Then, and this is where you guys get involved, it then has to go to all 27 municipalities in Macomb County, and we need the approval of 67% of them, so 19 of them have to vote yes. And so if you look at the timeline, it would be January, February for the Board of Commissioners, and then February, March, April would be what we'd be targeting to bring the resolution to the community. The resolution is sort of a prepackaged deal. Obviously, you guys could make your own resolution if you wanted to, but Eagle has a format for what the resolution looks like. It'll be plugged in with the details about the amendment, and then it comes to each of the communities. We have the full support of Lennox Township, which is important. That's where the landfill is located. We have support from Mark Apple in the executive office. We have lots of support from the Board of Commissioners at the county level. And we've been doing this either in public meetings or in private one-on-one meetings with a lot of the mayors, supervisors, council members in the different communities. And really, I think it's fair to say have at this point unanimous support. I think everybody recognizes that this is sort of something that has to be done. We keep generating trash, it has to go somewhere, and improving and expanding Pine Tree Acres via this amendment is really the only rational solution. So after it then goes to those communities, we get the 67%, it then goes to Eagle for final approval, then the amendment is passed. And then there's a secondary process that's more of the construction permitting and the sort of nuts and bolts of actually expanding the landfill, but that can't occur until we've got this amendment passed. So that's where we're at today. We're here, wanted to present it to you guys as a sort of informational, also to encourage the public or anybody on the council, if there are any questions, comments, concerns, we're here tonight to answer them. We're easily reachable. There's information on the Macomb County website, there's information on the WM website, and the whole thing is as transparent as possible. It's not very complicated. It's a need, not a want, and that's what we're here today to discuss. And I think if you see up on the board, you can kind of get a sense. You can see the borders of the roads. My eyes, I don't see it well anymore. It's close, I can't see far, but other than that, I do pretty well. But you can see the yellow there is the new proposed lined landfill area that would add this additional capacity that's pretty sorely needed at this point. So I don't have anything other than that. I think it's a pretty straightforward deal. But like I said, I'm sure there are questions, comments, concerns, whether it's tonight or whenever, we're all available and reachable and happy to talk about any of those points. And I'm happy to address any comments now, or also just as happy to sit down and we can address them later or at subsequent meetings or however you guys want to proceed.
Anybody have any questions?
I just have one.
Sure.
And it's, I constantly hear about the amount of Canadian trash. And I know if we somehow could eliminate that, that would extend our life even further out into 25 years.
It would help, yeah, no question, and that question comes up a lot. The fact of the matter is the Canadian trash does come in. There's nothing, WM doesn't make that decision, the local municipalities don't make that decision, the state doesn't make that decision. That's a federal agreement where we send a lot of hazardous waste to Canada, they send like-kind municipal waste, right? So nothing that wouldn't go into Pine Tree Acres goes in from Canada. The last numbers I've seen, and I don't think this just specifically applies to Pine Tree Acres, but it's about 14% of the landfill waste that's coming in is from Canada. So it would increase the capacity, but we still would have a capacity need. Maybe it would extend it out a little bit further, but it wouldn't necessarily solve the problem. So
Sure, I would agree with that.
But
It's just that, that subject comes up.
it does. It comes up, and it comes up in a lot of our private meetings and our public meetings, and it's certainly not a question that we're afraid to talk about or answer. It is what it is sort of, the canned response. It's coming in, it does come into Pine Tree Acres, it comes into other landfills all over the state of Michigan. We export worse stuff to Canada and then bring in some of their municipal waste. But I think the number I have is, it's about 14.35% of waste disposed in Michigan landfills is Canadian waste. So it's not a huge number, but it's not nothing either, so.
And just, so we're serviced by Priority Waste. I know they have their own landfill, I think down in Sterling Heights somewhere, but do they also come here to?
I'm not familiar with them having their own landfill in Sterling Heights. From what I understand, most if not all the priority waste
Do they?
comes to Pine Tree Acres.
Okay. Well, good to know. It's better that they're going there than having to go all the way down to Sterling Heights.
It is, and
Well,
and it's good. I think WM has proven themselves over the years. That's a very big company. They're here. They're good stewards of the landfill. They follow all the rules. They work very closely with Eagle. And I think it's telling. That's part of the reason we've been discussing this with Eagle, with the county, with the municipalities. Like I said, I'm comfortable saying there's pretty uniform support for what we're talking about.
Any other questions or comments? Trustee Foley, I see.
I have a half a one, but it's not, I'm good.
You sure? Okay. I'm happy to stick around too if you want to ask something.
All right, no, I'm good.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
All right. Unfinished business. We have item number A, funeral home Seaford update. Mark, did you want to come up and speak to this at all? Is that what you're here for? Or?
No, I have more information on
Okay. Mr. Shadi, did you want to come up and?
Yes. Yeah, very coming update. Roof, we just running into some weather issues. Materials, I have all the material now. Windows for the house, just about finished. Last coat of paint, those are gonna go in. The big window that was broken, still the glass shop. And we've currently started, repairing the back side of the house.
For all intents and purposes, I don't know if
And then,
anybody else disagrees. There's not been really any visual change to the building since last month. I mean, I thought that the roofers were supposed to be there that Friday, right after the council.
Yeah, we're changing over to a metal roof.
Remember?
And we had to do some structural stuff. On one side, we put all new plywood on and had to deal with some of that.
Does the permit reflect that change?
I have the stuff filled out. I'm gonna bring it up this week and get that to the building department for the change.
So that's no.
No, it doesn't sound like.
But yeah, and then the electricals should be hooked up this week. We're just waiting on electrical inspection for the house.
Yeah.
The electrician just finished, and then he's going to Friday at the funeral home disconnect that back addition. There's a panel in there, and I'm not touching that panel. So the electrician's got to decommission that panel and get started up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody wants to see, the building demolished, especially around the holidays, but I mean, it's the biggest eyesore in the village, in my opinion.
Oh, I agree.
We really need to see some progress to the exterior. I mean, especially if you're going to come in month after month, we need to actually see that the roof and everything is actually occurring. So, last month we had you here and you said that you were going to have some progress by now.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're moving. It's just some of the supplies and the weather has kind of slowed things down a little, but
Yeah.
it hasn't stopped anything. It just,
Yeah, because the weather didn't start till December, and there's a whole list of things that were to be done in November that haven't been done.
Mr. Grells, like that?
Yes, Mr. Sade gave a written timeline as to when certain things were going to be taken care of, broken down by each piece of property in the month. November had some things for both properties, and when I did my visual inspection on the last day of November, right before Thanksgiving, no work had been done at all. Nothing had been accomplished.
yeah, there's one more.
But not in November, there wasn't. So there may have been work this week.
It was work in November.
So based off the information that I saw, based off of the written proposal that he gave us, there was no additional work that had been completed off of that list. And I did forward the memo to engineering.
And I respectfully disagree with you.
Yeah, I mean, well, and I think I do agree with our code enforcement officer, at least visually. I mean, we're not seeing anything changing. We still have tarps on the roof, we still have, cars around the building.
There's only one car left, and he keeps telling me he's gonna come get it. If it's not, I'm gonna have to tow it.
Yeah.
So this list on November, what items do you say have been removed then?
All the glass for the windows is for the basement windows is complete. I'm just finishing up paint work so I can install them. The side window, the big bay window on the side, that's still at the glass shop. They had a custom order because it's a weird size.
I don't know.
Cleaned out stuff, started fixing the back, filling in that hole.
So remove dead tree, is that there?
What's that?
Remove dead tree is on this list for November.
There's a tree service who's supposed to come in and just take care of everything. There's 4 trees coming down.
A door installed on a shed, is that there?
Door's undergoing paint right now.
Did you
I had to get a door.
Loose basement stones?
What's that?
The loose stones around the basement
Started work on that.
and a basement door.
Basement door, it's undergoing paint.
But as of the day before Thanksgiving, none of that work had been accomplished. It might have been done since then, but when I did my visual inspection on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, none of that work had been done.
Well, it doesn't sound like anything's done, it sounds like it's all started somewhere, but not completed.
Correct. It's in the process. There's materials had to get, fine materials.
Have you done an inspection in December or?
No. Typically, I won't do the inspection until the end of the month, just because I'll give him time to do what he says he's going to do. So as closest to the end of the month that I can get to, then I'll do my inspection.
So essentially you're a month behind. If all these are beginning but not completed, they'll be completed in December instead of November.
And we're working on the November list. We're starting in on that. Like I said, electrician's coming Friday to disconnect the addition on the back of the funeral home. They get rid of the electric out of it.
So when is
There's
there
a panel, a control panel in there, and that's a little above my skill level.
Yeah, that's,
so I gotta have them.
When's the anticipated date that you plan to have the roof done?
Hopefully within 2 weeks.
I mean, that's what we heard last time.
Right, but ran into some raining and some, but watched some, strung up some heaters and that, you know, melted off and so we can progress.
I mean, I hate to be the Grinch for Christmas, so, I mean, if council is willing, I'm willing to give it another month, but, I mean, I'm really running out of patience with it. It's, like I said, this is the biggest eyesore in the village. We need some sort of resolution here. We need to see visual progress on the exterior of this building. We need to be able to
No, I
actually,
agree.
you know, I'm tired of driving by the funeral home and it being, you know, an eyesore. It's embarrassing.
And as far as that roof goes, it needs all new plywood. So as far as drying out what's
Well, we've
there,
already replaced on the back part the plywood and some structural stuff now, you know, do the front.
And our biggest concern is that, you know, here we are now in winter and we're having, you know, on and off again snow. They're talking about this being an, what is it, El Nino winter.
Just gotta fight through it.
Yeah, it's just I don't want to fight through April for the
No,
weather
I
to break
agree.
for us to
No,
get a
we've
roof.
done way for it. It's, we're not gonna drag it out like that.
I'm willing to give it another month.
I just say another month, that roof needs, you know, before
So needs the
anymore.
roof.
No, I agree.
and if it's not, it's understood that we will
Move forward
go
with
back.
condemnation.
Yeah.
Especially that roof, there's no reason at that point.
Yeah, because the exterior needs to be buttoned up. I mean, it needs to be buttoned up so you can go inside and, because you certainly don't want to do much inside with the exterior.
Right,
Yeah.
You know, windows broken and
right.
there's
Well, the
no.
building isn't
Gaping
even
hole
secure.
in
If
that.
there's all broken windows, they should be boarded or
Well,
something.
there's no broken windows on that.
There's one on the street side of the funeral home upstairs.
Oh, there's a piece of glass fell out. due to
Well,
glaze, but
well,
that's, we'll
okay.
replace that.
There's no glass in that opening.
Yeah, it's a small.
Broken window.
It's still broken.
Yeah, but you just said that these windows, this window work that you needed to do isn't done.
That's for Main Street. Yeah, the windows are, there's like one coat of paint left, and the windows can be installed.
So they're just open?
No, they're plywood.
They're boarded up,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, no, that's all secured.
okay.
All right, well, if council is comfortable with it, I'm willing to give it another month. I mean, it's, the biggest concern that I have is just that we're going into the holidays, and I have a feeling it's gonna be very difficult working around the holidays with the contractors and everybody else.
I'm gonna be around every day.
Well, that's what you said last month too.
I did, but a lot of running, trying to get things together. The tree guy was supposed to have already done his part. If he's not there by the end of the week, I'm gonna just get another tree guy.
Has there been any progress on the Seaford one?
Yes.
What progress has been made since?
Electricals, the Sunday, he just finished his electrical, dependable power. But we're just waiting on inspection, and then DTE can get called to hook it up. So we did that, started working at repairing the back, got rid of a bunch of crap out of there. Filling in the hole in the back, so I'll be getting stone. By the time I get it from Marine City, I gotta put it in the shop, let it dry, thaw out before I can, so it kind of becomes, time.
All right.
But we are doing things, it's, windows are all built, just gotta, like I said, finish the building.
I might recommend that you start documenting what you're completing.
Okay.
Yeah. Send it to the
Yeah,
fire
like
chief, please.
daily basis of what.
And there's some other things that weren't on the list that we've been, working with, it's just kind of 100 different things at once.
Right, but this is the list you presented to us in order to stop the order that we had. So this is what we're going by.
And if you're doing other things, then we need to know what those specific things are.
Yeah, I'll write out a report.
All right. We have a motion to table this until next month.
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any further comment on the motion? All right. We'll see you next month.
Hold on, we got a vote.
Oh. All in favor? All opposed?
Not again, Brian.
It's going to be another one of those meetings.
Roof will be wrapped up here shortly.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you next month.
Like that, there's one car left. He's supposed to be, he's been telling me 2 weeks he's coming to get it.
Yeah.
If not, I'll have it.
Okay.
Told you where he's at.
Man across the street.
I would say there's a.
Yeah, Mr. Manager, we'll be more than happy to tow it.
More than happy.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I think we put on a trip and take it to him, but no, we did have coming to him.
All right. Yep. Thank you. Item number B, Vertex quote to repair HVAC in the police department space upstairs in fire department. Ms. Kazel, did you want to speak to this, or Marcus, Mr. Gilbert? Mr. Gilbert.
So the upper area, common area in this building where the sheriffs are currently at, it doesn't have HVAC and some other issues with heating and stuff. So, got a quote and to get it fixed and for up to snuff and I normally do my own building stuff, but I present it. Just to get the HVAC and stuff over at this building done.
Yeah, it's the loft space that the police department is currently using. As you all know, at the present time, there's not much of a timeline of when this police department issue is going to be resolved, although we did get a written proposal from our landlord today that was forwarded over to us. I don't think that's going to give us any resolution on the police department anytime soon. So in the meantime, this is meant to make the loft area, the fire space more habitable. And I believe that the intention after the police department moves out is that they actually do want to use that loft space. I know that they've been using the other bays as like a gym area, and I think that the intention is that they wanted to move that upstairs once the police department is out of there. So it is something that is going to be necessary either way.
During the summer, during the summer it was like over 100 degrees up there. They were trying to do things also, so they were they were getting an audit done, that's where the guys are just going crazy, so that's what kind of jump-started the whole issue.
They're ending up, they're doing all their reports and everything just from their car instead of going up and using the computers upstairs because it's all out there.
Rand is, I thought.
It has heat and air conditioning.
No.
They got too big.
Yeah, so this is for a 2-ton coil and condenser for AC upstairs. The heat's definitely not a problem up there. It's hot there. It's in the summer they boil. So the total project cost is $6,700. And they'll be expenses of the police building maintenance budget, GO. It's from Vertex Heating and Cooling. Vertex, correct me if I'm wrong, Marcus, this is the company that we've been using for all of our HVAC lately.
Yes.
I know we've been kind of.
We were with Randazzo and yeah.
I'll make a motion to accept the $6,700 estimate from Vertex to repair the HVAC in the police department space.
It's been moved and supported that we accept a quote from Vertex Heating and Cooling in the amount of $6,700 for the air conditioning in the fire department, or police department area of the fire department. Any further questions or discussion on the motion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Bonkowski?
Yes.
Trustee Hatcham? Yes. Trustee Polly?
Yes.
Trustee Guerrero?
Yes.
Trustee Dover?
Yes.
Trustee Nona?
Yes.
President Bison?
Yes.
Please, sir.
So the next item we have, item C, Village Hall parking lot. That one, I'm going to ask that we table it for another month. It's actually kind of been brought up as part of the point of contention with our landlord, the parking lot. So I'd like to make sure we hold off on that for now.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion to table to next month?
I motion to table the Village Hall parking lot.
It's been moved and supported that we table the Village Hall parking lot until next month. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item D, BSNA.net to cloud. So you should have in your packet, we did get some clarification from BSNA. Scroll through here. Oh, was it included in this part? Oh yeah, that was the email. So they, you know what, I don't think the packet has, I don't think the packet included the email from Michael about the payment structure, that portal jet. So, let me pull it up real quick.
It's in there.
Is it? I wasn't seeing it in the packet that I downloaded.
Michael Van Hal, your village meeting.
Page 79?
Yeah, no, it's a different email. So with the BSNA.net to cloud, payments will begin 6 months after signing the contract. So if we were to sign this, he said it in January, the first invoice would be $14,000 in July. Then the following July, 2027, will be the regular amount of $21,000. Then July 2028 is when the 5% increases would begin. And if you remember, by that point, we should be switched over to the cloud. They said they had like a 10-month period before they really get the installation accomplished. So it would be like, if we were to approve this tonight, it sounds like we wouldn't be converted over to the cloud until about this time next year. So because of that, they do a staggered payment approach where the first invoice is only the $14,000, which covers, some of the work that they're doing preparing for the upgrade. And then July 2027 will be when it starts to be the $21,000. And then after that is when we would have the possibility of 5% increases after that. Like I said last month, this is something that, you know, unfortunately, it really is a necessity. They are at some point going to retire.net. So we don't really have much of a choice but to upgrade to the cloud. We are not one of the first that would be upgraded to the cloud. They already have a number of municipalities that have upgraded. This is something that we would just be following the footsteps of other municipalities that have already gone through with it. But from what I've seen from the demos and the newer interface, it would be so much more efficient and useful for the ladies in the office. They log in and they have a dashboard and it has all these widgets they can set up and they can see, you know, like Monica in the water department, she can log in, she'd be able to see any outstanding water bills, or she'd be able to see any water meters that are due for replacement, all these different widgets that she can set up. So, you know, just from a usability standpoint, and then the reporting and usability for our code enforcement activities and our rental property activities, rental property inspections that we're gonna start doing next year. This is going to be a huge enabler to that.
Will this alleviate, at our budget meeting, I believe Ms. Casey said that we have systems that don't talk to each other?
Exactly.
So alleviate that?
Yeah. So with BSNA.net, every module that you have is its own database. And then in that module, they have their own client or customer or resident table. So what we have in utility billing for everybody in the village of New Haven doesn't necessarily match what we have in the building department for everybody in the village of New Haven. And it doesn't necessarily match what's in the tax department for everybody in the village of New Haven. Whereas, you know, so when we have our code enforcement activities and Mr. Geralchik is trying to send out, you know, notices and violations and stuff like that, he's mailing it out based off of what we have in the one database, but then we get a nice letter and it turns out that the information in a different database shows something else. So the modules don't really, they communicate, but they have different data. The switch to the cloud would allow all of the modules would all have one database that they're all using. So the actual table for residents and businesses and addresses and all that fun stuff, that's all one table that all the modules are all pointing into. So definitely would streamline, definitely would make things a lot easier. You know, there is the heightened cost of it, but it also, there's a lot of benefits that we get out of it with having it being cloud-based. You know, Marcus and the DPW, they can have tablets in their cars, and when the ladies in the office send the DPW a work order, they'd be able to pull up the BSNA cloud and right from their car and with a tablet, and they could go in and work on the work order. They don't have to VPN into the network and do all this other stuff. They'd be able to just pull it up. It's just a web page. You know, you can access it from anywhere. Mr. Geralchik, when he's doing his code enforcement activities, he'd be able to, you know, he can go home and easily access and fill out all his reports at home. Doesn't have to VPN into the building to do it, you know. So it's just, being cloud-based makes it a lot more accessible and easier for everybody to utilize. I'm sure there will be some growing pains, though. That'll be my disclaimer that doesn't always go easy.
And you may have said this last month, but did they give a date where they're going to stop supporting .net?
2027.
Yeah, 2027 was like the unofficial. We're not publicly publishing that, even though we just had a public meeting, but.
So that's something we're going to have to do relatively soon anyways.
We do. This is, they basically said we're going to have to do this.
Yeah, it's a 10-month lead time, and we're already a year away from.
Yeah, I mean, after that 2027 date, I don't know what that means if we're still on .net, if we continue to utilize it, but it's not supported anymore, but, You know, the .NET is like Windows 98 technology, and the cloud is much more modern, so it's time. Any other questions?
So what exactly are you looking for on this total proposed?
So I guess what I'm looking for, let me pull open, what did the PDF have it? So I'm trying to find my PDF out here.
62,930.
Also, Ms. Kazel expressed at that budget workshop that she needed this to help with the cemetery, correct?
I need it for everything.
Yeah.
Right.
For instance, you know, with Mark here, just with the code enforcement, and he's seen stuff over in TAC, and he's seen stuff over in the building department. He's got an address. Well, all of us got PO boxes, so that's a lot of, you know, so this stuff is not populated in the modules. He can't see UV. That's where we have PO boxes where all our stuff is set in. So this will put this, like you said, right in one big portal, right in front of the dashboard, where everybody can see everything for it. So, for instance, Mario's address has building problems, permits. He's got some code enforcement issues. It's all going to be in all that one screen right there. Yeah, well, I'm tapping right now. So we'll be able to see all the activity. We get calls when mortgage companies call, say, hey, is there any back taxes due? Is there any back, you know, utility bills due? Is there any infractions that need to be paid? Stuff like that. We can't see that. We have to send them to 3 different people to make sure that, you know, that this property is not, you know, stuff like that is going on. We're not, all of us are not seeing the whole picture. This one, we got people coming to us constantly saying, hey, do you know about this property? Do you know about this property? Everybody will have their hands in there and hands on, and they can see what's going on with that property on the block. Thank you.
And now I don't want people seeing my violation.
I just violated you, I'm sorry.
Don't worry, it's coming back.
I love it, yes.
So, yeah, so it looks like, so the request tonight would be to approve the quote from BSNA for the upgrade implementation, total proposed $62,930, and to move forward with BSNA to upgrade to the cloud.
So I see on here they also have training. What is that training going to look like? Are they going to come in here monthly, or is it a one-time deal where they just show them how to use it and that's it? Or
To be honest, it was kind of vague. I'm not exactly sure what all the training is proposed. But they did say that they would come in and they would train us on new modules, you know, or get us going, I guess I should say.
and along with it, there's going to be support, so if they have questions, they can call and get answers.
We have continuous support with them, so we can call for it.
Yeah, we already have that. So, you know, we run into issues, like even just now, we have an issue with utility billing. The emails aren't going out, so they work with BSNA, and then now they got to work with VC3, so, you know, they get the support for anything they have issues with. I'm also I'll forward everybody the other email, which also explains everything a little clearer, but yeah, for the purposes of tonight, it would be in the 62,930, and then permission to move forward with BSNA for the upgrade to the cloud.
And what is the cost for that?
That's the 62,000.
It's all in that.
Yes.
62. Okay.
It would be, the way that the payments will be set up are going to be a little bit staggered, but yeah, the
That's
total
not
amount
bad.
was the 62,930.
And a little bit comes out of every budget for this, correct?
Ms. Kazel, for the 62,930, the upgrade implementation, that basically a little bit of that money would come out of pretty much like every GL, wouldn't
It'll
it?
come out of every GL.
Yes.
I would like cemetery,
Yep.
building.
Yeah.
So like tax, well, no, we're not taxing, tax general fund.
Well, it
Fire
shows on the
department,
different,
code enforcement,
Yeah.
it'll be
yeah.
allocated to all costs.
I will make a motion for the $62,930 for this company,
Yes.
BSNA, for these upgrades let me see, the implementation and the modules, the annual fee for those, and to move to the cloud.
Did you say the dollar amount?
Yeah, $62,930.
Support.
It's been moved and supported that we upgrade to the cloud with BSNA software with a total proposed price of $62,930. Any further discussion on the motion, Ms. Gazel?
I have a question, when are we supposed to be putting out money for this budget or next budget?
They said the first payment would be in July,
July.
so next budget. Any further discussion on the motion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Bunkowski? Yes. Trustee Dilbert?
Yes.
Trustee Guerrero?
Yes.
Trustee Nona?
Yes.
Trustee Capoli?
Yes.
Trustee Hatcham?
Yes.
President Dyson?
Yes. All right. New business, we have the library lot combination. Trustee Dilbert or Ms. Whitsett, I'm not sure which one of you want to talk through this one.
Oh, Mr. Dilbert, man.
That's great.
You wrote the executive summary, so that's why.
Right, exactly. You did.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
It really is self-explanatory. It's, like I said, we had a public hearing Tuesday pertaining to this lot combine, the request from the library, the existing library property at the corner of Main and Clark. They want to combine it with the property next door to the library that they purchased on Main Street, make it one parcel. This is all part of their wanting to expand the library eventually. So these two properties need to be combined. And like I said, the planning commission did send a recommendation over to council for approval. And council has the last word on it.
Conditional on the rezoning approval and utility confirmation.
Yes. And typically, the utility confirmation is only done on a lot split. So,
Right.
so on a combine, it really doesn't come into play.
Yeah, good point. Any questions for council? I don't think we really, was there anybody here from the library that wanted to speak or wanted to say anything, or, I mean, I think we're
If
probably.
anybody has questions, I can answer them.
Yeah, did anybody have any questions for the library? Okay, motion in order?
So I will make a motion to approve the lot combination. I'm scrolling back so I can get the parcel numbers, sorry.
It's on page 80 of the PDF.
Parcels 26-06-33-102-001 and also 26-06-33-102-002. I'll make a motion to approve the lot combination.
Can you say conditional upon rezoning?
Conditional upon rezoning approval and utility confirmation.
Support.
It's been moved and supported that we approve the lot combination conditional upon rezoning approval for 2606-33-102-001 and 2606-33-102-002. Any further discussion on the motion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Bunkowski?
Yes.
Trustee Guerrero?
Yes.
Trustee Capoli?
Yes.
Trustee Nona?
Yes.
Trustee Hatcham?
Yes.
Trustee Dilbert?
Yes.
President Dyson?
Yes. Okay, motion carries. Let's see, item number B, schedule CDBG 2026 Community Public Service Funding, public hearing.
We usually do this in January, but there's limited time to do the reporting in January, because it would be done in we'd set the public hearing in January for February, but then there's limited time to do all of the paperwork behind the scenes in February, so I need it done in January, please.
Perfect. Yeah, I know it usually seems like they come hunting for us, asking when we are gonna have it on our agenda, so.
Oh, it's already in my email.
Oh, it's-
Answer that
yeah.
question today.
Yeah,
Do we want to do 6:30 at the next council meeting?
yeah, so the recommended action, set the public hearing for January 13th at 6:30 for the 2026 CDBG.
Is that your motion?
That's my motion.
Support.
It's been moved and supported that we set a public hearing for January 13th, 2026 at 6:30 PM for the 2026 CDBG Community Public Service Funding. Will we actually have the CDBG figures and,
You have the funding allocation, New Haven has
oh, yeah, there we go.
3,400.
Okay,
But you will have all of the, I just got it today, who is asking for the money.
okay,
So that'll be included in the packet next month.
okay, perfect. All right, any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Item number C, 2026 council calendar. You have before you, they say 2025, but I think they meant to say 2026. They are the 2026 dates, right?
Yeah.
Looking through it, I don't think any of them fall on any holidays or anything like that. So,
The numbers look good.
there's no questions or concerns about the council calendar. Have a motion to pass the 2026 dates.
So support.
It's been moved and supported that we accept the 2026 council calendar dates as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have item number D, Parks and Recreation Council Liaison. Trustee Guerrero, did you want to say anything about that, or?
Yeah, any takers? If not, then it's okay, I'll stay on it, but if anybody else wants to relieve me. But if not, I can stick around, I don't mind passing it. Any takers? All right.
Okay, I guess you're
Yeah.
all right. All righty, we'll move forward then with Trustee Guerrero as the liaison. Item number E, MML liability insurance 2026. Ms. Kazel?
Hold on, I'll bring all my stuff.
Yeah, you got a few of them on the
Yeah, I think, yeah.
back to back.
I got a new policy for MML liability insurance. They're increasing it to $51,915 a year from $47,000 last year. Premium increase is $48.52. But we have to take into consideration that our property value increased by $762,000. That was the plow trucks, the 2 plow trucks, and playground. So that's why that has gone up. We will be receiving a $3,681 dividend return once we pass this proposal. And there's really not much that's different except for the premium has gone up 4% because of inflation. Does anybody have any questions? I'll bring this to you every year this time.
Yeah, this is our annual increase.
Last year we had a major audit, so everything's pretty well. Nothing has changed except for the public additions, the 2 pump trucks and oh, wait, we got a fire truck too.
I will make a motion in the dollar amount of $51,915 to the MML liability and property pool insurance renewal. Support.
Moved and supported that we accept the MML quote for $51,915 for the MML liability and property pool insurance renewal. Any further discussion on the motion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Dombrowski?
Yes.
Trustee Hashem?
Yes.
Trustee Dilbert?
Yes.
Trustee Guerrero?
Yes.
Trustee Nona?
Yes.
Trustee Foley?
Yes.
President Mason?
Yes. All right, next is item number F, third quarter budget amendments.
We've gone through the budget, a couple things that we had not prepared for was the water connection, water meter, and sewer connections for Redwood and Pembroke. We received, so I didn't have any line items in the revenue for that, those amounts, so I had to adjust those amounts, so that's why the revenue increase is $362,521. Of course, there was, we had that fountain flooding, and then we had that $50,000 that we got in for the fountain in the revenue. That will not be on hand for next year because of the flood. So those I paid to the industrial bills line items reflect the money that we got from the insurance recovery and the water connections for Pembroke and Redwood. We also, basically I went through and we had a couple building repairs and community dinners and computers, and I just basically went through and made sure that all our salaries and everything, telephone, utilities, everything's kind of were up to snuff, and I increased those line items to, because of course we had a DPW worker that we had hired,
We had additional.
fire department, additional fire department in there, so I had to go through and adjust those line items. So I'm asking to increase the revenue budget by $362,521 and the expenses of $131,846. Any questions?
So moved.
It's been moved and supported that we accept the budget amendments as presented with a revenue increase of $362,521 and an expense increase of $131,846. Any further discussion on the motion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Pankowski?
Yes.
Trustee Passion?
Yes.
Trustee Guerrero?
Yes.
Trustee Gilbert?
Yes.
Trustee Nona?
Yes.
Trustee Colvin? President Mason?
Yes. Item number G, increase in pre-application meeting fees.
On behalf of Chief Sawyer, I'm presenting this. What we are running into with pre-application meeting fees is that when people come in here for our professionals, we're not covering our costs. And the reason why that was happening, when we had Macomb County planners, we were at $1,500 a month. Well, with the new Carlisle in place, we're seeing more expenses going out instead of money coming in. Another thing that we're seeing is that when people come in, that I think we're only charging like $644 or something like that, but we're not covering the admin or anything like that, and we would like to start requesting 1,000 escrow for pre-application meetings, because it's been running into not just one meeting, but maybe 2 or 3 meetings at that. And at the end of their pre-application fees associated with their meetings, stuff like that, anything that's left over, we would give them back to them. So we would like to start a new policy that we ask for $1,000 escrow for any pre-application meetings that people come in for, I don't know, what is pre-application meetings?
Yeah, the pre-application meetings before they submit their site plan to the
Thank
planning
you.
commission.
That's what it is. Any questions? We're just trying to cover our costs at this time.
So this request also includes the increase in the fees to match the costs?
Correct. Yes, correct, yes.
So if we do a $1,000 escrow, that'll cover the fees.
Well, so the motion would also be to increase the fees too, right?
Correct, yeah. I mean, yeah, it would be, because there's the planner, the engineer, you have the fees there before you. So right now, we're only charging the $644 per meeting. And so the proposal would be that we would charge $914 per meeting. So the $1,000 escrow isn't that much buffer, but it would cover the planning meeting, pre-application meeting, I mean.
And like, if you put it in escrow like that, we can also ask for more money up front and hold it until they have the next application meeting too, like we do with, like Redwood and bills and stuff like that. So, we might be coming back and saying, hey, we might need more money at this point, but this is just a policy and procedure that we want to follow so that we're covering costs.
So if an applicant comes forward and submits an application, they'll put in $1,000 for escrow and get anything that wasn't spent return. If they needed additional meetings or additional services, we would ask for another $1,000 escrow.
Or in addition to it, any that to cover the next meeting cost. Because right now, usually it's only 1 hour for each of the thing, each of the planner and engineer, stuff like that. This right here projects 2 hours. So this could be actually 2 meetings. It could be as 1 hour, it could be, so it's unforeseen cost. Can't extend it better than.
Yeah, and the pre-application meeting is actually optional. They don't have to do a pre-application meeting. They could just come in and just submit a site plan to planning. Although it is encouraged that they do a pre-application meeting. That's where they basically get, our planner, the engineer, fire department, everybody gets together and meets with them and gives any feedback of, if they're missing a sidewalk, they tell them, you can submit this as is, but planning is going to require a sidewalk. We're just telling you that type of thing. Anything that's glaringly obvious that needs to be corrected before it gets submitted to planning, that's the benefit that they get from that meeting. So that they at least have a rough draft that gets reviewed before it gets submitted to planning.
Well, I'll move that we update our fees and include a policy for a $1,000 escrow.
Support. Moved and supported that we update our pre-application meeting fees as presented and request a $1,000 escrow for all further meetings. Any further discussion on the motion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Capoli? Trustee Roma?
Yes.
Trustee Dover?
Yes.
Trustee Guerrero? Yes. Trustee Pankowski?
Yes.
Trustee Henson? Yes. President Mason?
Yes. Item number H, code enforcement pay increase.
Our code enforcement, has been receiving $750 a month as a contract employee. He's asked to be moved from a 1099 employee to a W-2 employee and increase his pay to $1,000 per month. We are requesting that he has office hours of Wednesday as a pre-return time with no benefits. We will work 40 hours a month, plus any percent offset by violations collected. So what we're asking right now is that we increase his pay, put him on the payroll, and no benefits. We're basically, he's a contract employee, we want to move him as an employee. He will be, we have job policies and stuff like that in place for him to be implemented when he comes on as this. He has been at 750 since 2022? Forever. The cost now is $9,000 a year with him with this, because we will have to pay FICA and all that would be $13,480. So we're going from $9,000 to $13,480. So $4,800 I think it came out to. What else can I say?
So with
There was an insurance issue as well.
With
on
driving the
vehicles.
vehicle.
Yes, we have an insurance issue with, he will be using the fire department, new truck to go around the village. He has been using his own vehicle. We don't feel comfortable him being a contract employee and not be able to, and using our vehicles. And, I'm trying to think what else we said.
There was a couple things.
Yeah.
So from the increase from the 750 to 1,000, the way that we're justifying it is the fact that he is going to have office hours. He'll be here for predetermined hours on Wednesdays. The benefit of that is that that's the day that our planner is in the office. So, and that's also when the fire department has their full staffing with their fire inspector and their part-time staff. So the benefit that we have is that Mark will be here at the same time as everybody else. They can collaborate, make sure that everybody's working together as far as commercial properties, residential properties, performing the inspections and whatnot. As Ms. Kazel said, as a employee versus a contract employee, once he's actually a W-2 employee, he'll have access to the fire department's pickup truck for doing the inspections rather than driving around in his own personal vehicle. We did bring this to council previously, but just as a reminder, we did have an incident where Mr. Gralchik was on assignment doing code enforcement activities, and somebody that he was writing a violation notice for followed him home because he was in his personal vehicle and just followed him right back to his house. So we don't want to put our employees contract or W-2, and that's that type of situation. So having a fire department vehicle that he's driving around in the village owned vehicle, he has to come here, pick up the vehicle, do his patrol, and then return the vehicle here. So if anybody wants to follow him back to the fire department, that's their own prerogative, but I'm sure sheriff department will be waiting for him. So,
The insurance and liability will not change. I mean, he's already covered in workers' comp, it's contract employee. So insurance check will not.
I need some clarification.
Okay.
Because I know there's a difference between a contract employee and a W-2 employee.
It's not enough.
So break down the numbers for me.
Okay.
Right now, as a contract employee, we pay workman comp.
Correct.
When he becomes a W-2 employee,
His classification does not change as a workman's comp.
but he also will start paying something else.
We're paying FICA, Medicare,
FICA, Medicare.
and that's about it, so.
Okay, so the dollar amounts are,
So as I said, $750 a month was equated to $9,000 a year, that's what we're paying now. If we add $250 to it, it goes up to $12,000.
I don't have a problem to pay a raise.
Okay.
It's the additional cost that I'm trying to get
FICA, Medicare.
clarification on.
Of course, the workers' comp is going to go up a little bit because it's a $250 increase. And we have overhead and stuff like that. I mean, we will have to take that.
So the additional that we'll pay,
When I do my budget, I average out 15% when we had somebody on.
15%?
Yeah.
Chris, the FICA and Medicare is 7.65%.
Correct.
It's 7.65% for FICA and Medicare.
Okay. So the annual, so you don't have a number for me annually?
Well, 7.65.
$918.
How much?
$918.
Thank you,
So
Rachel.
$12,918. There we go. Thank you, Rachel.
Okay. So an additional 900 and, okay.
And it's annual.
So it's $3,918 extra to put him on the payroll and give him an increase.
So one of the things I was looking at too is, I understand the vehicle idea behind it, you know, with the insurance and everything, but I also look at it from like a resident's point of view. Somebody rolling up in their car and they don't know him, that he works for the village, at least if he comes up in a car that has village detail and something on it.
He had details on his car. It's a code enforcement, yes.
yeah, this will be more official though.
Did it look more official?
This will be more official. The fire department's vehicle's been retrofitted with green flashing lights, which signifies more of like a DPW or like a service, not fire department, you know, with the red and white.
Yeah.
Additionally, we did have Mark go and get high visibility outerwear. So if he steps out of that vehicle, he's going to have either a high visibility jacket on, or he'll have a high visibility vest on. We also, it's a secondary activity that's been taking place, but we've been making sure that our employees have badges, identification badges. And Mark also has an actual badge that he wears that actually shows that he is a village employee, a village code enforcement officer. So, you know, he has credentials. He looks, you know, look and do the part. So more
Also,
official.
too, he's gonna be dealing with most of the blight and the commercial accounts too. So, to be looking official, I would say that's a harder thing on ourselves. Code enforcement, we have also, last month we were buying about, from the fire department, that's gonna be $5. He's gonna be working on sidewalks and grass and stuff like that. So he's gonna be taking on the harder cases and stuff like that when he goes to meet these people, so.
Any further questions for Ms. Hazel? Motion in order?
I would make a motion to move the code enforcement officer from a 1099 employee to a W-2 employee and increase his pay to $1,000 per month, paid monthly. And no benefits.
Also too, I set up a budget in the general fund for this too. So when I went through 71 to the department. General fund to cover the costs.
We have a motion on the table. Do we have support?
Second.
It's been moved and supported that we reclassify our code enforcement officer from a 1099 to a W-2 and increase the pay to $1,000 per month, paid monthly with no benefits. Any further discussion on the motion?
I have one question. Our workers here are organized. There's going to be no issues with the union hiring somebody on?
No, there's no job classification in there, you need for that position. That's the union, yeah.
Any further questions? Roll call, please.
Trustee Pankowski?
Yes.
Trustee Pepoli?
Yes.
Trustee Nona?
Yes.
Trustee Dilbert?
Yes.
Trustee Guerrero?
Yes.
Trustee Hashem?
Yes.
President Mason?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hazel. Number I, or letter I, Lions Club architectural considerations. So Mr. Nona and I have been working with our architect, Mr. Fout. He has put together, I did forward everybody the 60% architectural drawings that he put together. There are some things that I think you might need to change based off of previous conversations that might not have been updated, but he also sent an email, which should be in your packet here. He had a number of questions as far as like how to set up the warming station in the side of the Lions Club. You know, he was wanting to know. He was telling me, and I don't know one way or another, but he was saying that you could have a gas stove, but not have to deal with the health licensing. My understanding is that
No, any food preparation going on in there has to have a safe serve.
yeah, that's what I
So
thought.
any event that anybody would rent it, or if it was a village event, we would have to have somebody with that certification on staff during that event.
Right, yeah, because I think that was our intention, right, is that it would just be a warming.
Right.
So it would
So
be,
lots of outlets for all their crock pots and
Yeah.
that type of thing.
yeah, now I can see, like, I'm picturing from our community dinner, the high school kitchen area. If I remember correctly, I thought they had a unit that was just like a warming unit where you could put like a tray of food in there. Yeah. I could see us having something like
We
that.
would have to check with the health department on that. if
Yeah, that
would be
requires-
it, Right.
Yeah. Otherwise, so he was asking, so, you know, flooring for the overall Lions Club. He was asking if we wanted to do epoxy or vinyl laminate plank. Fred and I were going with the vinyl laminate. We felt like that would be warmer and not as kind of harsh as the epoxy on the concrete would be. For the ceiling, he was recommending adding the drop ceiling in with modern tiling and LED lighting. He said that it would, you know, overall it would then make the entire area look nice. It would hide the mechanicals that are up in the ceiling. But for the warming center, he was asking about coffee makers, microwaves, ice makers, electric stoves and such. I'm kind of in the opinion of like, let's not worry about that right now and let's get the build out done. We can worry about coffee I mean, as long as there's a counter spot for a coffee maker, we can worry about that later.
Right. And I think in our original discussion, the idea is that somebody would rent the space and have a caterer.
Exactly.
That's why we had that side door with the idea that could be a door for a caterer to come in.
Yeah, so I mean, if he was gonna be adding any open area for like an electric stove, I would propose that instead of an electric stove, that it would be like a warming oven unit where people could put food in and it would just keep it warm. Some other things that he mentioned is that none of the doors meet ADA requirements except for the exterior door for the warming kitchen out to the exterior. So he is proposing that a number of the doors be replaced. And then he also mentioned that Michigan Model Energy Code requires any structure over 3,000 square feet to have a vestibule. And the Lions Club is 3,098. So his proposal is that we would have to have a vestibule once you actually, where we currently have our front, like our main entrance to the Lions Club, there would be a, you know, little room like we have here that you would walk in and there'd be another set of doors.
How large does it have to be?
I'm not sure on how large it has to be, but in the plans that he had offered up, I'm not sure if the plans are in the packet here. I did forward the additional, oh yeah, he does have the plans, and the plans are in the packet. They show the vestibule that he was, oh, actually, you know what, these plans that are in the packet don't. The plans that I forwarded via email do show the vestibule in there.
The
He's made
vestibule
some-
could actually get that, the entrance and the catering door.
I don't think they have to be that big, because I've been in, some buildings have them that are pretty small, they're just a door and then you go to another door. I don't
Yeah,
think
that's
requirements are that big. It just has to be narrow enough.
That's all that he really had for his drawing, was just a small room for, you know, like just a, I mean, no bigger than what we have here.
Right, just to pass through.
Yeah. Overall, though, I mean, what he has for his drawings are looking really good. So he did add for both of the bathrooms, there would be 3 restrooms, I guess you would say. So like for the men's room, there would be 1 stall and 2 urinals. For the women's restroom, it would be 3 stalls. One of the things that he made a point of is to make sure that for both of the restrooms, he wants, when you open the door, you can actually see into the restroom from the seating area. So he was thinking ahead, like, let's make it look nice. If you're opening the door to the bathroom, you don't want somebody that's
Yeah, you don't want to see me standing there.
yeah, right. And he does show the vestibule in the updated drawings. It's 8 foot 5 inches by 5 foot and 7 inches. So 8 by 5 little vestibule that you would walk in, and then you turn, and then that would walk you over. It would actually walk you towards like what's now the warming kitchen, which he would reduce down to just be a janitor's closet for the hot water tank and the incoming water meter and all that. So, okay, so is everybody in agreement that maybe like a lot of the fixtures in the kitchen we kind of went off on? I don't think that's something that we really need.
Well, we had the outlets and things,
Yeah,
which we should be.
yeah,
As long as there's a counter and outlets, I think
Yeah.
that's all we need.
an outlet, an
We always
adequate,
had,
yeah, adequate amperage
Yes.
for all the outlet usage, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the updated drawing that he has, it looks like he's got 2 refrigerators, he's got the stove in there, and then a bunch of different sinks, which I know the sinks were required by health code about having the 3-unit sinks and stuff, but,
that's typically stainless.
It
yeah,
has to be seen as
yeah. Okay. All right, that's all I had for that one. I just wanted to have the discussion. I want to make sure that we're all on the same page with the progress thus far, and also just give an update of it. Like I said, everybody has the updated drawings in your email. His 60% drawings that he sent us, as he calls it, there are 11 attachments for all the different lighting and fixtures and overheads and all that fun stuff. So. Definitely take a look at it. It's all good stuff. I sent it on Friday if you have to go hunt through,
I have 2 questions if I can. Is
Yes.
there enough storage?
Yeah, so and I'm going to be speaking based off of the 60% drawings. So he drew the storage. We have like the janitor's closet that's kind of right now where the warming kitchen currently is, where we have the water heater and the incoming water line. And then he actually increased the storage in that back room from the size of this currently.
Okay.
So it actually looks like he almost doubled the storage in that back corner. So yeah, based off of what's in the packet versus what's on his latest drawing, it's about double the size. And one of the things, and this is one of the things that I want to go back and talk to him about, with his drawing that he did for the 60% for the warming kitchen, he shows all these refrigerators and all these appliances and stuff in there. I don't think all of that is necessary. My opinion is maybe part of the warming center, we actually even maybe carve out a corner for storage, like put a pantry in there or something for supplies or, you know.
I just didn't know, does this closet hold like all the tables and chairs? Like what if somebody wanted to rent it, but it was gonna have a square dance, with tables and chairs?
Yeah, so we do have the detached garage.
Oh, that's right.
That we
I
can
forgot
store.
all about the garage.
Yeah.
Okay, good, all right. That's what I'm saying.
That's outside storage.
Okay. And
Yeah,
how
it
about,
is.
where are we on the fire suppression?
So that, I wish Chief Steer was here to talk through that one. He did say that there might be a clause that might be able to get by without having to do the full-blown fire suppression.
Okay, that's based on only 100% occupancy.
Yeah, something like that.
Capacity.
Right.
Capacity of 100.
Yeah, capacity of 100, or it also has to do with the classification, so
Okay,
depends on how we classify it.
okay. All right, that's all I have.
Yeah. One of the things that I do want to mention too, that I was kind of disappointed on is, based off of what he saw, the current heating and cooling, he said, was not sufficient. He was actually recommending that that gets moved outside of the building. So he wants to, yeah, he actually wants, I know, they're brand new. He wants to move the fixtures outside of the building onto
We
a,
put in the, up.
Yeah, go up there.
we could talk to him and see if that's possible.
Over here?
Yeah. Yeah. So that was one of his proposals, is a cement pad with a heating and cooling being moved outside.
There's 2 pads out there already for air conditioning units out there.
Yeah. His drawing shows it being, on the side by our buddy over there, backing up to Mr. Harris's property. So it would be on Mr. Harris's side of the Lions Club. Yeah. The shorter side of the building.
Did he say one?
I'd have to go back in the emails and look, but I thought he said it had something to do with airflow return or something like that, or I don't know if you remember, Fred, what he said.
Which we haven't confirmed.
Yeah.
Very well could be his opinion.
Yeah.
There's a form number cool air return that they follow.
Yeah, and I'll go back and look and see what the rationale was, and based off of that, we can always send it over to Sermet and Mike and make sure that they agree as well. So, okay. Any other questions, comments on the architectural plans? Everybody's good with it so far? All right. That was the last item that we had on the agenda, so that moves us into call from the floor. If anybody would like to approach the podium and speak, limited to 3 minutes, and just a reminder, this isn't Q&A, so feel free to speak, we just won't respond.
Hello, everybody. My name is Cal Pileski. I'm the commander of the AMVEST Post 72 on AMVEST Drive. I'm here to discuss the issue of our marquee. First off, a little history. Our post was chartered in 1946. This coming May, 80 years. Now, the marquee is important to us for events, and that's how we stay in business. I'll list a few of the events. This Saturday is Children's Christmas Party. We do it every year. Kids come, they get fed, they sit on Santa's lap, they get toys, they go home, it's fun. We also do gift baskets for needy families, food and toys for the kids. Also, we just had a Halloween trunk or treat for the kids. Not for the veterans, for the kids, for the community. We hold a Memorial Day parade. We've sponsored Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts. We've had junior rockets practice on our property. At least 100 people out there. Beautiful sight watching all the families and their kids. The problem is we're not on the main road. So the only way we can advertise is with our marquee. And I'm here to ask the village to grandfather that in. It's next to Scott Clifford's property. He has no problem with it. But you take that away, it's going to hurt us. And financially, we need the people to come to our events. Like I say, this Saturday, we're holding a comedy show in January. We put that on the sign. Me Dingo, we put that on the sign. A lot of people don't, if they don't see it on the sign, they don't come. So I'm here and I brought some members of the Post, ladies auxiliaries, some more veterans, to ask you to take into consideration that we do help the community when asked. So that's all I got to say. I had a big speech, but I was deer hunting at 6 o'clock in the morning in 14-degree weather. I'm kind of burnt. But anyway, if you have any questions for me, fire away. I don't know who complained about the sign, but all I know is we're a nonprofit. Like I say, without events, it's hard to pay the bills. So I'm asking y'all. And I've been going there 18 years. I was bar manager for 12. And not that I know, I don't know of any time we've come to the village and asked for something. So that's what I want to say to y'all.
So unfortunately, the public comment or call from the floor, it's not a Q&A, it's just you guys had the opportunity to talk to us.
Okay.
So we're not really supposed to have the back and forth, but I can respond when we get to call from the table. So that'll be the next part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, like I said, I just, hope you bend the rules a little bit. Most VSOs they own the property right to the road. We're in the back there. I wasn't around in 1946 when they picked that spot, but anyway, thanks for listening to me.
Thank you. Call from the floor.
I just wanted to add on to that because we did get the application for I think it's like $850 for the application. We don't have that. Not to get emotional, I thought I was going to do this, but we don't have the $850 for a chance for us to be able to keep that sign. I've been part of New Haven for 8 years, and I just would really appreciate any help that we can get from you guys to keep that sign to help our veterans. So that's it.
Call from the floor.
Can I follow that?
Try to talk.
Bill Dwight, 58415 Pembroke. President Weiss is going here for, came to pay my water bill was Wednesday before Thanksgiving, about 12:30. Doors were locked. Okay, it's not a lot of office staff. Figured they were just gone for lunch. Came back about 1:20. Doors were locked, and I finally looked at the sign on the door. It said they were closed. And I was just wondering, is there a Wednesday before Thanksgiving holiday that I don't know of? But do not answer that, but just making.
Call from the floor.
Just a question. On the Lions Club, is there a deadline date that you guys looking at?
We will be able to, again, without being able to count, hopefully we'll be able to determine that soon once we have the actual design plan, the final design plan.
So, again, this isn't really supposed to be Q&A.
Yeah. Sorry.
But
Let me
we
get
can address
away
it.
from that. You need to talk to the people. That's why people come to the meeting, because they want to at least get an answer back.
Right.
Why I am here, but I've been in New Haven all my life. That's 66 years. From my age. But anyway, like the Annex Club has been there forever, and the sign that they're talking about is on it's on a trailer. And I don't, unless the ordinances has changed, other than the sign ordinance, but a mobile trailer, I think that they would be all right if they didn't do anything, we're going out and move it one day and move it back the next day. I don't tell them how to get over, but it's mobile, and I don't see what the big harassment, and I would hope that this council would work with them in any way that they could. It's a nonprofit organization that's been here forever.
Thank you. Any other call from the floor?
Yes, I'm gonna reiterate, I've been to some of their events at their halls, and I said I wouldn't have known about the events if it wasn't for the sign. He's exactly right when he brings that up.
Any other call from the floor? All right, call from the table. What's
I want to know what's going on with the sign.
Me, right, me too.
Yes,
I
so,
know everything about it.
I was going to immediately jump into it. So, thank you guys for coming here. Nobody on council is familiar with what you're talking about except for myself. Yes, so, to give the background, what happened was, there was a marquee sign at another business within the village. As part of the code enforcement activities, that sign was in violation of the sign ordinance, and they were asked to remove the sign. Well, when you have code enforcement activities, you do it to one person, next thing you know, they're pointing fingers at everybody else, and unfortunately, they pointed the finger right over the AMS club. And they said, well, if we have to remove our marquee sign, why are they allowed to keep their marquee sign? So that was the conundrum that we were put into. Now, the monument sign that exists for the AM Vets, not the marquee sign, but like the pedestal monument sign, that one is in the right-of-way for MDOT. So we have taken, the village has taken the stance that because that's in MDOT's right-of-way and not ours, we're not going to do anything about that. That's MDOT's problem. The marquee sign, on the other hand, is located in the right-of-way on AM Vets Drive within the village, or, on the village's right-of-way. So the trying to come up with a solution to allow it to remain, because we do see what the reason why they want to have the sign. The proposal was for them to come in and ask for a variance. And that if they came in and asked for a variance, then they would be able to, as long as CDA approves it, they would then be able to keep the sign. I'm not sure if that's something that council can make a decision on, or how that works.
Isn't that stretch part of that 19?
So that stretch is part of 19. So that's why I say where the monument sign for AM Vets, that's in the MDOT right away. But the marquee sign behind it is in the right-of-way of AM Vets Drive. It's outside of that 19.
If it's mobile, can they just move it over by there?
There's a fence.
That's what I was gonna ask, if we could move it next to the ambulance.
Yeah. So if it's in MDOT's right-of-way, that's MDOT's problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it?
If it remains. So we'll leave it at that. But yes, unfortunately, that is one of the unfortunate aspects of code enforcement activities. You have one person, that you get code enforcement activity on. Unfortunately, then they start pointing fingers at everybody else. Yeah. So there is that. I think that hopefully helps or answers the question there. In regards to the office closure for the Wednesday after Thanksgiving, or Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So we do have, I think we have the signage up there about when our lunch hour is, but there was a sign that was put up. I'm not sure.
I put a sign, everybody in the office was sick. We were down to one person. That's what happened.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
That's a good point. We have been dealing with, everybody's been sick on and off, I think. Lynette has been sick for like 3 weeks now, so. Yes. And on that note, off to myself. Sorry. Otherwise, I think the only other announcement I had was that we do have the office closure from Christmas Eve to New Year's Day. So the office will be closed from December 24th to January 1st, just so that everybody's aware.
You can put out there My New Haven app and stuff like that, because, you know, residents
Yeah.
utilize that, so.
Good point. We can put that out on My New Haven MI app so that everybody can be aware of that. Otherwise, off the table?
If I may, the young lady, she was mentioning $850. What was that all about?
That was for
No, $722. She
Oh,
said.
for the
For the
The
ZBA.
application.
fee, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like sitting up here, you guys are talking about things like,
Yeah.
okay, I didn't get this email.
Yeah, what is happening? And we could visit some type of free program for non-profit groups for these types of things.
Right. Yeah, yeah, this is, it's just, it's an unfortunate situation, it's not something that we really want.
Right.
We're not trying to cut down on ambulance by any means, it's just unfortunately, when you, like I said, when you have one business that you do code enforcement activity on, and they start pointing the finger at everybody else. All right, any other call from the table? Motion order, 8:36. Support. But it was supported that we adjourn at 8:36.